American Eagles host the Sigourney Savages, and we're getting about ready to kick it off here. Yeah, if you want to subscribe, that'll help me a little bit. We're getting close to where we can get monetized. Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Are you doing both games?
Just the JV game.
Okay.
I thought this was it said in the schedule varsity was at 5.
First.
And I live in Richland.
Oh,
We have tons of listeners, really both teams.
Yeah.
Because we've been covering them for 5 years. But it was when I have to go a long ways, I don't like to do the late ones.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we already got a viewer. I like it. I like it a lot. Well, we could go over the lineups for you here real quick. So, the starting pitcher and the leadoff batter is Moore. Third baseman, Jensen. Number 8, Walden. He's a center fielder. Baker in left field. Russell at shortstop. Kerr in right field. Trimmel is playing first base, but Sellers is the DH. Fry's the catcher, and Olson is at second base. It'll be, we got, okay, here we go. Had it backwards. Okay, Cale Morgan is going to lead off for Pella Christian, and he's a center fielder. Keen Deronde is a shortstop. Cale Harson, he's he's the DH for the pitcher. Lewis Miniga is playing first base. Gallagher at third, Ball in left. Van Manen at second base. And Weingartner's the catcher. Anderson and Kegel, who is right field. And I believe. And we're ready to go. Foul ball to start it off. It's our second game of the year. Ball upstairs. Fouls it off. That was a good one in the strike zone. So Moore is the batter. He'll also be the pitcher. I think Carson Harrell is the pitcher. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter. Well, this is our first time here at the baseball stadium, although we've done some games at the football stadium, and we certainly covered the basketball team a few times, albeit all road games for Pella Christian. Now, Sigourney, they've only been on about 100 times. Swing and a miss on a high inside pitch. And Carson Harrell starts the game out with a strikeout. Strike on the outside corner. The young man has really got great control right now. This is Jensen. He's a third baseman. Swing and a miss. He has this guy down 0-2. I'll tell you what, I like Harold because he stays in the strike zone. Swing and a miss. 2 up and 2 down via the strikeout. That'll bring Walden up. this center fielder. This is a opening night, at least for Sigourney. It's a little cooler than I like. The wind is blowing straight in. That was a high one. Sometimes when you're trying to throw the ball really hard, it comes in a little high. Baker's on deck. He'll be playing left field. Strike right in there. 2 balls and a strike, 2 outs. The number 3 hitter is at the plate. Ball upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We got a full count here. The wind is blowing straight in and hard. It's a pitcher's delight. And this ballpark is pretty big. I guess it was scoreboard was a little off, so this must be a full count here. I guess now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The number 3 hitter at the plate. He steps out of the box here. Pop up. Third baseman going over. Out of play. We'll do it again. This is the bottom of the first inning. Today's game is brought to you by Helena Hayes. She's a house rep for Oskaloosa and Sigourney, Fairfield and Keota, and Tri-County. And the Pekin Panthers all are hers. She helped us out with a little money to cover this season. Ball 4. He fouled off a couple 2 strikes pitches and worked himself a walk. We got Baker. The left fielder and the cleanup hitter, and he's coming in from the left side. Sigourney has her first base runner. Throw over. Skips away a little bit. We've got our first dirty uniform of the day. His mom's going to have to wash that one.
Actually, I think it is.
High, throw down. Safe.
Get down.
So runners in scoring position, 2 outs, and the cleanup hitter. Let's see if that strong wind causes any of these balls that go up in the air to make things hard on the fielders. Good pitch. Wow, that was a good pitch. It looked like it was coming in and kind of went back. Stayed right on the edge of the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes, or 2 balls and 1 strike. Just a little bit upstairs, and this kid didn't miss by much on that one. Harold's having a pretty good start to the game. Carson Harold. Upstairs, and he walked in back-to-back walks. And the Savages went from nothing going on to something cooking. Russell, the shortstop. We'll see if the runners are moving a little bit here. See if they got a double steal going. But after starting out with pinpoint control, he's walked a couple batters back to back. 2 strikeouts followed by 2 walks. Strike on the outside corner. Strike on the outside corner. And he's got him no balls and 2 strikes. This kid is really working these edges of the plate, both the inside and the outside. Ooh, that was close. Hey, we're getting some people watching. I appreciate you out there. We'll make this a regular thing. I got 4 games next week. This is the last one this week. The Sigourney Savage. That's the first team we ever covered, and then we moved it up to 44 teams. But they're still number 1. Ball gets away. Runners are moving to second and third. And we went from no balls and 2 strikes to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You're gonna win.
Well, believe it or not, this might be one of the biggest moments of the game right here. It will be one way or the other. Either Sigourney's going to get off to a good start, or Pella's going to work out of a jam here. And he strikes him out. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. And Pella Christian likes how they started the season there. Well, Helena Hayes is working hard for you in Des Moines, and she'd appreciate your vote here in the June primary. She has been one of our best sponsors. It costs money for us to get to these games, and we have some great sponsors. We'll be telling you about them today. We are bringing you every Fairfield Trojans home game this year, and I think a good chunk of the Kyoto Eagles home games too. But we've got some Pekin and Hillcrest next week, Mediapolis at Van Buren County next week. The Trojans are going on a road trip. They haven't always been on a road trip this long since Noah, I believe. But we'll catch up with them again in June when they're back home again. Supposed to have a home game last night, but it was they had a wet field, so they played it in Oskaloosa where they had that great field. Man, the Oskaloosa Indians have the nicest ballpark you've about ever seen. West Liberty has a nice ballpark they put in. Well, it's Cale Morgan. He's the center fielder. He's going to lead things off. Strike 1 right off the bat there. So this is Moore. He's pitching. That's a name I'm familiar with. Ball outside. I really like to do the JV stuff, though, because it gives me a great idea of what's coming on. Always happy to get a chance to have the Sigourney Savages on and Pella Christian. We had these same 2 teams at the JV football game last year on a Thursday night, I think it was. We do some Monday night football. We do some Thursday night football. Good pitch, breaking ball. Floats over the outside corner and freezes the batter up. So both teams start out the game with a strikeout. Dean DeRonde, he's a shortstop. Number one in his jersey, and I'm sure he's number one in your hearts out there listening. If you're a big fan of this guy, he plays shortstop, and he just took a beautiful pitch right at the knees. As Satchel Paige would have called that a pee at your knees right there. Might have gave him a little bit on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The batter better choke up and see if he can just put the bat on the ball some way here as he's down in the count. Wind continues to blow straight in. And it gets him on the inside. Moore off to a pretty good start with 2 strikeouts. And the pitcher himself comes up, Carson Harrell. Carson Harrell has 3 strikeouts of his own. A little bit outside. Swings right through that one. Looked like a little bit of a slider. It was moving to the right anyway. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here at this beautiful Eagles field here.
Pitch. I go to Sigourney, but I'm staying in hospital. Come on, Graham.
These two schools are very similar and they're good at everything. You know, I mean, you're going to have to bring your lunchbox when you play each other, especially when they play each other. But they're good schools with good parents, good programs, good athletics, good academics.
Nice job, Graham.
Beautiful curveball puts an end to the first inning. Well, the second inning is going to be brought to you by another house rep, and that's Jeff Shipley. He has 3 schools in our coverage area: the Van Buren Warriors, the Fairfield Trojans, and the Mount Pleasant Panthers. Although Helena Hayes does have part of that Fairfield school district too. She just has like 6 schools she's covering. But Jeff helps us out, and we appreciate him, and he's also going to be on that ballot in the primaries in June here, if you're voting in that. Jeff has had at least, this might be, he's going for his 5th term being up there. Elena's looking for her 3rd. We got a like, we got some people listening, people watching. I'm appreciating you. If you're watching, let us know where you're watching from and whether you're cheering for the Savages or for the Eagles here.
What's up? Why? Why? Why would I hold that? Don't put that up here. It's a piece of rotten wood. It is product. Where did you find that? Okay. Yeah,
Really? No.
Kerr is up. He's a right fielder. He'll be followed by Sellers, who's the DH for the first baseman, Trimmel. Fry and Olson if somebody gets on base. Scotty Melvin, are you listening? I had lunch with your head coach of the junior high team you coach there. I heard a lot about him. Starting to fill this place up pretty good. They play nice music and it's not so blaring loud like a lot of places. We had Sigourney playing Wilton on at Dwayne Banks Field where the Iowa Hawkeyes play last year. And it was really exciting to be in such a nice ballpark. Man, was the music loud. Someone watching from LaPorte City. I didn't quite read that all, but we appreciate you and thank you for the comments. All those likes and comments and shares and everything that really help move the channel forward. We need about another 100, like 110 more people to get to 500 where we can be monetized. This is our first year on YouTube. We were on Facebook last year, well, for the basketball season anyway. Took me a while to figure out how to do this YouTube stuff. Yeah, we provide a great way for people, you know, grandparents or whatever that don't live real close, get a chance to see their kids play or their old school play. We're going to be have a lot of different teams, a lot of different games. Kind of a long time on this inning here. Wonder what's happening here. Coach and the umpire talking things over down there on the third base line. This is a beautiful ballpark. It looks so well taken care of. Oh, I've been waiting for the catcher to get ready there. That might have been what was the holdup. He throws her down, and he's ready to go. Kerr coming to the plate for the first time here in 2026. I think it's opening night for both teams. We've had some pretty rainy weather. In baseball, you got to be flexible. Games, times can change. Even where they're going to play the game changed on me last night. And the game was moved up because the weather was going to be bad later. 2 balls and no strikes. 3 balls and no strikes. Harrell came out throwing strikes last inning, but he's 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff hitter here. That was right in there. Now, a lot of coaches like you to take the pitch when it's 3-0, but I just like to rip away like there's no tomorrow. Ball 4. I don't know if Harrell's having some kind of mechanical problem there. The winds are blowing right at us. I love a field with a flag at pole. so you can see what's going on with that. Boy, he's
Let's go, Niall.
so this is Sellers, and he's a kind of a big feller. Swing and a miss. So if he can get a hold of one, he might be able to let it fly a ways. He might be a big fly guy. Ball gets away. The runner stays put. I think he could have made it. Well, runner at first base and no out as Sellers has an opportunity here.
Here we go, Niall.
But he's down 0-2 here. Swing and a miss on a hard one on the outside corner.
Come on, Gamble.
Harrell has recorded 4 outs, all of them via the strikeout. Fry's at the plate, and Olson is on deck there. Fry's the catcher. Runner's going. Throw down. He had a good jump on that one. So stolen base. 1 out and a runner at second base. That takes away the possibility of the double play. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Here in the top of the second inning, brought to you by Jeff Shipley.
Top second inning.
Coach sees a little something. He might, maybe in his mechanics, wants to talk to him about. They're not changing pitchers already, are they?
Oh.
They are changing pitchers. Well, that's interesting. He records 4 outs, all via the strikeout. But I think they wanted to get some other pitchers in here today. See if we can find a number on this new guy. Looks like number 9. And that is Blake Nico. He's a sophomore. Len, he's a left-hander. Nickel. Blake Nickel.
She didn't pay for it yet.
Looks like he throws hard.
And the van off it. Yeah. Really came back. Ross. I wish I could.
After 50 Cent declared bankruptcy, he was then known as Nickelback. If that correlates with this pitcher here. I do not know what happened to the catcher. But I got a feeling this game is going to stretch my battery to the limit. Change in pitchers, change in catchers. It's only the second inning. So, We'll see who the new catcher is when he comes out here. Nickel loosening up his arm a little bit here. Here he comes. Let's see what number he is here. Number 17 now. Well, that's Harold, the pitcher. So Fry comes back up. I believe he has a 2-ball and 1 strike count on it. And there's 1 out.
I don't know. The pews will travel a little.
I'm not 100% sure whose official batter this is going to be.
You ate it all?
Yeah, but that's the same. Yeah.
Great block in the dirt by Harold there, right off the bat. Keeps the runner at second base. Ball 4.
Hey.
Olson's coming up. Then the top of the order, Moore will be the next batter. Courtesy runner coming in.
What's the score?
Nothing.
0-0.
0-0 here in the top of the second inning. Ground ball foul. No balls and a strike.
Goodbye.
Number 9 hitter at the plate, but he's got runners at first and second and 1 out. Any kind of a ball through the infield is probably going to score a run.
Be alive.
The courtesy runner about got caught off drifting away too far. Swing and a miss. And he gets a strikeout, but the runner does go down to third.
Let's go, Graham. That's you.
The kid's got 2 stolen bases tonight.
Graham.
And Moore's up, and he's the leadoff hitter. And he's a big kid, too. Look at him up there. Well, it's going to take a hit to score this run here. We'll see if that runner at first doesn't break for second here with the runner with the base being open. Swing and a miss. Morse struck out in his first at bat, but he doesn't get cheated with his swings. That cooled everybody off with that, the breeze coming off of that bat. Ball inside. Oh, he kind of throws it. Why is the runner staying put up third, I guess? But the ball got away from the catcher, went to the screen.
Okay, go 1. It's okay. Go 1.
No balls and a strike on Moore. It's going to take a base hit to score the runs. Runners at second and third. Ground ball up the middle, and he gets it through. 1 run is in. They hold the courtesy runner up. But Moore drives in the first run of the year for the Sigourney Savages. Jensen comes to the plate. Walden's on deck. Hit the ball right back up the middle, and good things are going to happen for you.
Let's go, Jaden.
Beautiful pitch by Nichols there. Wow. Right there on your hands. Runners at first and third. Ball outside. Runner breaks for second. And he's out. Nice throw from the catcher, Harrell. So one run comes across, but Pella Christian does a good job of limiting the damage there.
Press on. Yeah, find him. Six. Huh?
Same two teams will have a varsity game at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Lewis Meninga, sophomore. He's the number 9 hitter. No, wait a minute. No, he's not. Let me see here. Oh, he's a cleanup hitter. He looks like a big, strong kid there. Left-handed hitter. Ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the second inning. 1 for Sigourney. Nothing for Pella Christian yet. Lewis Meninga, first baseman. Cleanup hitter. Ball upstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike. He'll sit back and look for a fastball here.
Come on, Dad. Come down. You got it.
It's got to be. Linda's. That's the.
Here comes the pitch. Took a big rip at that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Moore's faced 3 batters and struck them all out.
Come on now, kid.
Foul tip. I thought he might throw that curveball that he got the other guy struck out on, but he stayed with the hard stuff. Swing and a miss. I think he took a little something off of that one. He was out in front of it. 4 batters, 4 strikeouts. Moore's looking pretty good out there. Blake Gallagher, the third baseman, steps up. He's a tall drink of water. Just missed a little bit outside on that pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Good pitch. Right on the knees there. On the edge of the outside corner and right on the knees. That's a good pitch. Fouls him off, and he's ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Little opening night action here. Two balls, 2 strikes. Can he keep his strikeout streak alive? That was just a bit outside. Number 11 hustles out there and gets the ball. He's got his head in the game. I like that. Blake Gallagher. Ground ball. Second baseman moves on it, picks it, fires. 2 outs. Nice play by the second baseman out there. That's Olsen. Left-handed batter stepping in. That's Alex Ball. He's the left fielder, and he slices that one. Nice little swing there. Ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs. If there was a musical way to describe today's weather, it'd be Little River Band song, Cool Breeze. I should have wore a coat or something. Oh, that was a nice one. Looked like a little slider or something, but it sure broke to the right and went right back in the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3, same pitch, same location. So that's 5 strikeouts for of the 6 batters at Moore's face. And we move to the 3rd inning. The 3rd inning is going to be brought to you by Wyatt Moore and the Livestock Risk Management Partnership in Minneapolis. If you've got any cattle and you'd like to lock a price in, you see a good price you could lock it in. But they're doing something new this year. They're giving you loss risks. So if you have some cattle and some up die, Wyatt Moore and the Livestock Risk Partnership there in Minneapolis, Iowa can help you out with limiting your risk, both on the price and with loss from death. Nichols back out for his 2nd inning. 1 run came across, and I do think that was credited to Harrell. Moore drove in the only run, and he's been a stingy on the mound. Nobody's reached first base yet.
I got it. Yell at it. I got it.
Jensen coming up to the plate, trying to lay one down, but is in the dirt.
Who'd you fight?
Jensen was up to bat last inning, but the inning ended when Moore got thrown out stealing.
Not gonna be shy. Okay.
He gets one that might be fair ball. Oh, just barely misses. He hit it down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out as this is the leadoff batter.
Lake Nichols. Yep. Oh, Chris.
Jensen, Walden, and Baker this inning due up.
Sigourney Savages. They're savage.
Oh, nice. There's
You can see almost everything.
And he strikes him out. 1 out. Walden coming up.
no, that's a good idea.
He's the center fielder tonight. And I could see a ball getting hit up high in the air and then blowing back towards the infield and making the outfielders really have to come in hard to catch it. But there aren't going to be any wind-aided home runs today, I can promise you that. That's a good curveball there.
What's her name? Kate.
Swing and a miss. And that's 2 strikeouts back to back. Nichols has dialed it in this inning. Walden coming. He hits him. And like last inning, they're trying to get a 2-out rally going here.
That's a lot. Was it so cute?
Baker, the cleanup hitter. Big left-hander, lefty on lefty.
Trying to get that black thing.
We've seen a couple lefties, good ones, on Round Guy Radio so far this year. Gets it down. There's a play at the it skips away, but great play by the shortstop. Scoops that ball right up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second base. Strike on the outside corner with a little curveball. Kind of floated in there. Top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, stop.
Ask Dad over there.
See?
I like to hear it.
Kinda.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Cake with coffee.
Strike, beautiful pitch, sits him down. 2 strikeouts. And it hits batsman. Russell coming to the plate, Kerr on deck. Russell's the shortstop. And with 2 outs, he's got a runner in scoring position.
Hey, see it here. Let's go.
Yeah. So I had stuff. It was Pella.
How many kids do
How's that one off? Got him down, no balls and 2 strikes. Baseball, important sport for the Sigourney Savages.
It is.
Just missed that one. Runner down to third. So a base runner 90 feet away. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. Ground ball. 3rd baseman coming in. He bobbles it. He fires. Wow, he was not really running that hard. But that's it. And the score remains 1-0. 3rd baseman stayed with it.
Good job.
Has a strong arm and got it over there. Will Moore has faced 6 batters and struck 5 of them out and got a ground ball to the 2nd baseman on the other one. Once again, we want to thank Wyatt Moore and the Livestock Risk Management Partnership of Minneapolis, Iowa. If you have livestock and you'd like to take some of the risk out of it by locking in a price or insuring for loss, that's kind of something new to what they're doing over there. And we'll have the Minneapolis Bulldogs on Round Guy Radio next week as they travel to the Van Buren Warriors. Rowan Van Manen, the 2nd baseman, he's getting his first look of the year.
Not really rice. Like noodles and fruit.
They got it right.
Strike on the corner there.
They can't get
1 ball, 1 strike on the batter. The score is Sigourney 1, Pella Christian nothing.
Dugout. He's over the dugout.
So far, Moore would probably be the player of the game with the driving in the only run of the game and stellar pitching so far. I talked to the varsity coach, Crawford, and he told me he thought pitching might be the strength of the team. 3 balls and a strike. Nobody out. Looking to get a leadoff man on. Couldn't get anybody on. And there it is.
Stay close. See if the lights got okay.
It gives up the leadoff run, so the tying run's on first base for Pella Christian.
Five out. Right.
There it is. Throws over. Not too much of a lead on that guy.
Pitch.
Right in there. Real good pitch. The batter is Alex Ball, and he's a left fielder, and he's hitting from the left side. Swing and a miss. Runner goes, throw down. Not in time. So with no outs, they've already got a runner in scoring position, and they have taken away the double play opportunity there. Alex Ball, if he could just hit a ground ball to second baseman, he could move that runner over. He slaps it away down the third base side. Foul.
So running through that. Can't go. Seconds.
That's going to land. Left fielder coming in. He can't get there. Runner stops at third. And the no-hitter is over. Runners at first and third and nobody out. As Brady Van... Jacob Anderson. Brady Van Weingarten gets a hit. First hit of the game. Right in there. Jacob Anderson. He's somehow the extra hitter, I guess. Swing and a miss. Runner breaks for second, but they don't challenge him.
Come on, bud.
Runners at second and third, and no outs, but no balls and 2 strikes. A strikeout would be quite helpful here.
And here's the thing.
Moore gets a strikeout there.
And I
Very nice pitch.
and I thought,
Ellis Keegan coming to the plate. He's a right fielder and the number 9 hitter. Any kind of a hit will do for 2. Tying run 90 feet away. Ground ball, second baseman probably scores a run here. Moore's bearing down. He's got the top of the order coming up after this guy. Swing and a miss. Moore could do a lot to get himself out of this jam with another strikeout here. Great block by the catcher. There was a run coming in that he saved. Terrific. I think that's Fry behind the plate there. Curveball strikes him out on the corner. 2 outs. Great pitch. He's got some strikeouts with that one. And we're back to the top of the order in Cale Morgan. Back-to-back strikeouts has more. Look at the ability to strand a couple runners on the base paths here. Curveball, strike on the outside corner. Wow, is he effective with that pitch tonight?
But he struck big one. And they could not touch it.
Inside, runner's coming. No, but it was a must have hit batsman, I guess. And the bases are loaded. And this is the highest leverage at bat the Pella Christian Eagles have had tonight. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The two hitter Dean DeRonde coming to the plate. He's a shortstop. Drive in the gap. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And Pella Christian Eagles have their first lead of the year at 2-1. Durandi got a second look at the pitcher Moore. Got his bat on it, sent it out to the outfield, drove in 2 runs. Carson Harrell coming to the plate. He's a new catcher. He was a starting pitcher. Runners at first and third, 2 outs, 2 runs in, 2-1 lead for the Eagles. Runner breaking. They're just going to let him go. Strike. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs. Runners at second and third. 2 runs already in. A little low on that one. Kicked up a little dust when the catcher's glove hit it. The dirt there. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Just missed. Ball 4. Coach is wandering out. He might have to talk to Moore a little bit. Might be good just to give him a little rest here. He might just be kind of getting tired. So this game will be available sometime tomorrow after it processes and everything. There, we got some more viewers. I appreciate you guys watching the game. If you're watching, give us a like. That'll help us out a little. If you just started listening, it's 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Lewis Menenga, he's a first baseman and a cleanup hitter. Big left-hander. He stays away from him on the first pitch. They could break this thing open a little bit with a base hit from Lewis here. Misses outside, then misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes. No room to walk him.
To who?
Pella Christian's bats were a little silent early in the game, but they have come to life here, and it's 3 balls and no strikes, and he's 1 pitch away from walking in another run here. Strike, taken all the way there. 3 balls and 1 strike. He'll probably have the green light here to swing away. And he walks in and run an RBI without taking the bat off of his shoulders. And it's 3-1. Blake Gallagher, the third baseman, and the number 5 hitter steps up to the plate with the bases loaded. 3-1. Fouls it off. Moore has thrown a lot of pitches this inning, and his arm might start to become fatigued here. And the audience is getting bigger and bigger. People are getting off work, getting a little chance. I know it's an early game. JV game, if you're wondering. Ball upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. I think it's 3-1. The scoreboard says 2-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was that good curveball he's been throwing tonight.
Come on, Graham. We go, Graham.
First baseman can't quite get to it. 1 run is in. So it's 4-1. But the scoreboard stuck on 3-1. It might be 3. I'll go and ask at the end of this. Wow, that's a pretty big. Yeah, we're gaining and gaining people. It is 4-1. I was right. Ground ball. Shortstop Fields fires. They dig it out. Good play at first base. And that ends the inning. But they scoot 4 runs across the plate. And that's all she wrote for the 3rd inning.
He's got a
Well, the Sigourney Savages will have to get their bats a cooking here and see if they can't get some runs and cut into this lead a little bit. Sellers is out there. He might be the first batter. And it looks like we got a new pitcher. Jacob Anderson, if the number on his jersey is right. Also from the left side.
No, I don't.
And they play tennis. How you doing?
Oh, Jim's on Snapchat. I think she strikes out.
Looks like a new pitcher might be stretching a little bit down there for the Sigourney Savages. Well, Pella Christian's pitchers don't got time to be fatigued. They pitch about an inning and a half each. Well, the fourth inning is going to be brought to you by Henshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa. If you've got cattle and you need to move them, talk to Corwin Henshaw. He's got these new Hillsboro trailers in. They're state of the art. He's never had anything like this before. Been around for 55 years. But for all your trailer needs, Richland, Iowa's Henshaw Trailer Sales is the place to get service. Ball outside. Blake Kerr is at the plate. He's a lefty. Ball inside from the left-hander. 2 balls and no strikes. So this is Kerr trying to get on base and get some of these runs back. This is Anderson. Jacob Anderson's a new pitcher for Pella Christian. They got some lefties out there. Walked him. It's pretty close on that pitch, though. But Kerr gets to first, and the designated hitter Sellers is coming to the plate. If he's related to Hunter Sellers, he'll be a pretty good player. Runner breaks a little bit, goes back, throw down, he's back. Ball outside. No strike. He catches the corner with that one. Nice pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, nobody out. 4-1 lead for Pella Christian over the Sigourney Savages. Ball upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Hey, you ready to hit? Be on time. Here we go. Hit the middle.
Pitch down the middle. The runner's breaks. A good throw, a good catch would have had him. I think that was a catchable ball. But the Sigourney Savages have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh no. So now.
Sellers at the plate. Fry on deck. Whoa. That was up. Runner moves down to third. Anderson a little wild here early on. So any kind of ground ball is probably going to score this run. Ball in the dirt. That's ball 4. We'll see if he doesn't break up the double play and get that steal second base. Fry's coming out. Coaches are coming out. Change pitchers again. And they are. Oh, nobody out. Runners at first and third. Anderson was having a hard time finding the strike zone tonight. As soon as we figure out who the new pitcher is, I'll let you know. That is a cold breeze coming in here.
That's not my soccer. No matter what's the weather, I'm always bringing a winter coat. Hockey. So I know that going into the season. Still, a couple nights I was like, oh, it's
Number 11.
I'll just go with the sweatshirt.
That will be Rowan Van Manen. I'd like to give out Keaton Wynn reports. Keaton Wynn pitches for the San Francisco Giants, and he is a Pekin Panther alumni, and he is having a stellar season pitching out of the bullpen for the San Francisco Giants. He's lowered his ERA to 2.21, and he leads the National League in holds with 10. A holds is where you come in late in the game and you have a lead and you leave with the lead.
Yeah, for sure. Have so much fun tonight, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, if they want to spend Friday.
So they got any time limits on these games? But at 6:17, 6:15, the varsity game is going to start in 45 minutes, and I'm going to be out of battery here before that, I think. So Pella's, trying to get work some pitchers in to see who's doing what. The catcher Fry's up. He's already made some contribution to this game behind the plate with some blocking some balls. Runner goes. Ball outside. They just throw down to third. And with nobody out, down 4-1, the Sigourney Savages have runners at second and third. Ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Fry. He's looking to go. If he could get a base hit here, they could score a couple runs and cut that lead down. Drives it. Could be a play at the plate. The center fielder gets it deep. The runner stays put. And he would have scored easy. Not quite deep enough, though. And there's 1 out. Olson, he's a second baseman. The number 9 hitter. Looking to get an RBI or something to get the season going. Swings and misses at a curveball. That curveball was dropping pretty good. Can't quite figure out the movement on these pitches here. No balls and 2 strikes. Little high there, but he is throwing a pitch that's not really fast, but it drops. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. He hits it, foul, coming back over the fence. This is a big fence. It's 20 feet up in the air. Drive, ground ball, could be a fair ball. It is. He can't get the guy at first. The runners go to second. They cut the lead in half, and Olson, with 2 strikes on him, is able to hit a ground ball down the third base line, drive in a run, pick up a base hit, and an RBI, and cut this lead in half. It's 4-2 now. And this should be the top of the order with Moore.
Oh.
21, not sure. This is Blake Seeley, I think. Ground ball, runner coming hard. Throw it to first. They get him at first.
Nice job.
But the run comes in, and it's 4-3. I guess that was.
Go, Graham.
Moore's coming up.
Go, Graham.
Graham Moore. A base hit would drive in a run and tie this thing up. I think it's 4-3. Scoreboard's a little off. As 2 runs have come in, it is 4-3. 2 runs come in this inning. Moore looking for his second RBI tonight. If he can get it. Ball outside. Just make contact, folks, and sometimes good things happen. Ball outside. Maybe a strike. I don't know. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. Runner at second base. 2 runs across. In the Henshaw Trailer Sales of Richland, Iowa. 4th inning. Foul ball. I bought a trailer from Corwin a few years ago, and then I sold it for more money than I bought it for.
Did it go over that pace?
More. Fouls it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner at second base. JV action for you on a Friday night. Had it cooled for weeks. I just can't shake it. Strike 3. And that's that. Pella Christian avoids a little any more damage and come out with the lead 4-3. We got a great game for you, folks. It's been terrific. We'll see if they come out with the same pitcher or not. They had a guy kind of loosening up on the side there. And that's it, folks. I guess the time limits come in. Terrific game.
Everybody.
I think Brandy Van Weingartner, maybe he got one of the big key hits there. We'll make him the player, the Packwood Locker player of the game. Want to thank Smithburg Auto and the Packwood Locker, a couple sponsors we didn't get a chance to mention. That's all she wrote. I'll be heading home. We'll get this posted for you tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching.